What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 17 of our podcast, Sippin' Sports. I'm Dave. This is Chris. How are we?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. It's hot. It's getting humid out there.
It's another hot week.
Yeah, it's another hot week. I mean, good 4th, long weekend, and
yeah,
all that fun jazz, so can't complain about that. Had some nice weather on Sunday.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday. I mean, honestly, both of the days were kind of the same in the sense that it rained and was kind of cloudy in the morning, and then it started to get better in the afternoon.
Well, yes, especially Monday. Monday was raining all morning, and then once that went away, it was so humid and just
Super
the air
hot.
was so thick. It was like, holy moly.
Yeah, but not complaining.
No, can't complain. So let's fire it up.
Yeah, what's your top sports moment?
Yeah, so as a lot of people probably have heard, USC and UCLA are both joining the Big Ten, 2024.
Is that one's happening?
Yep, so in 2 years. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy. They're just going to combine and make two powerhouse conferences now, it seems like.
And the other potential schools, right?
Yeah, well, Notre Dame, they're still trying to figure out what to do with Notre Dame. The SEC is kind of set.
And Oregon.
Yeah,
Is
Oregon
that still a question mark?
Yeah, it's still a question mark, but I think the Big 12 is trying to make a push for all these Pac-12 teams. I don't think the Pac-12 will be anything, truthfully.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want to be?
I don't know.
If you're Oregon, why would you? Like, you would go.
If the Big 12 is making a push to grab some of them, then, I mean, I don't know. The Big 10 is taking most of the powerhouse schools, and then if the secondary schools go to the Big 12, then...
Right. Well, I think it's still also one of those things where it's like, the SEC, if we're only talking football, the SEC, you're going to have to go through the SEC to win.
Mm-hmm.
The Big Ten obviously will make a push towards it, but I think that's why they're kind of also going towards the Big 12, because maybe they could. I mean, Oklahoma competed for a long time for football, but
if you look at baseball and softball, they won softball. They got second in baseball
for Oklahoma.
Yeah,
lost to Ole Miss in baseball. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting how it trickles down to other sports because, I mean, UCLA for basketball is very good. USC.
Pretty good.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, the last couple years.
Yeah, I mean...
Oregon's pretty good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think it'll just be interesting because now you have people on the West Coast, you have people on the East Coast, you got the Midwest teams, but we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, it should be exciting. Football will be different.
Something.
Yeah,
it's different.
Big news.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the TV money is going to be massive.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting. I think it'll be always interesting because Big Ten plays a different style of football. So it'll be interesting to see like how a team like Minnesota or a team like Wisconsin, who loves to run all the time, faces up against USC with now Lincoln Riley, who's going to throw the ball a lot.
Yeah.
So
and how his game translates to the cold.
Yeah, 100%.
It's different in Oklahoma and LA than Minnesota and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool. And then my top moment is, as I'm sure most of you know, the Nathan's hot dog eating contest happened on the 4th of July. And and I'm sure as most of you could have guessed, Joey Chestnut won the men's, and then Mickey Sudo won the women's. So there wasn't really any surprises, considering Joey Chestnut's won, I think it's now 7 in a row.
Yeah. I mean, he's been pretty dominant.
Yeah, his 15th overall title, and then Mickey Sudo won this year after sitting out last year when she had a baby. So really, the two favorites won, and there wasn't really that many surprises in the winner regard.
He had what, 65? It was in the 60s, I think. I don't think, because his record is like 75, 76. I don't think it was as many.
Yeah, 63.
63.
Yeah.
63 with a little distraction.
63 with a side of taking down the intruder.
Yeah.
Of on the stage, which is kind of crazy if you haven't seen the video. It's
all over Twitter.
It's kind of funny.
I mean, it just didn't stop a beat.
No.
How many hot dogs? So what is the time? Do you know how long
10
the time?
minutes.
10 minutes. How many hot dogs do you think you could eat?
I think I could eat probably around
This is max we're talking about, like max.
Like 15.
15.
15
I was gonna say anywhere
20.
from 15 to 20. I was probably gonna say probably around that 12 mark. I would probably be like, okay, I'm gonna just yak everywhere. But
Yeah.
if you could grind it out, probably 16 or 17.
Well, the crazy thing to me is it wasn't really that close.
It never is.
But Joey just kept eating.
Yeah.
He slowed his pace a little bit because, that's a lot of hot dogs in a short amount of time. So it's natural that your pace would slow down.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he was in the 60s at the end and the next closest guy was in the 40s, it's pretty crazy how he just kind of kept going. Like, he didn't at 55 go, I'm probably good here. Maybe I'll eat 1 to 2 more. But
he also had a broken foot, I think. He was wearing a boot.
yeah, he was in a cast.
Oh, he was a cast,
and he had crutches. And so I don't know if you saw, but his entrance. So they introduced everybody that was up on the stage, and it was in world rank order. So like, if you were ranked 40th, then you were the first one, and then 36th, and then 20th, so on and so forth, till you got down to him, who's obviously number 1. And everybody else was down on the ground, and then they had to run up some stairs onto the stage. They made a gesture and then went over to their spot on the table. And then when it was Chestnut's turn, he was in like one of those riser, like forklift almost type of things,
And he just lifted him up.
and he was off to the side, and then he stands up, and the riser thing goes way up and then back down, and then he gets off of it, and he's already at the stage, and then he just walks over, or he crutches over to his spot.
Yeah. That's insane. So for the majority of those people, that's just like a side gig.
Well, they some of the top ones, they
Do
travel
multiple?
around and do
Oh,
different
travel
competitions and stuff.
Yeah. But that's just crazy. Just eating that many hot dogs. And I think it's crazy too. Last point about it, but it's crazy that the counter people, because it's not like they're eating a full hot dog. They're like, dog, bread, dump into the water.
Actually, there was one guy.
Keep track of
He
that?
started off pretty well, and then he trickled off. But he was in the top 3 for the first 4 or 5 minutes, and he was actually taking the whole hot dog and bun, and then just eating it that way, and then drinking it down with water.
Yeah, Joey dumps it.
rather than Chestnut's strategy, and most of the other ones, is they grab 1 or 2 hot dogs, they're chomping on the dogs while they wet the bread, and then they stuff the bread in their mouth.
That's what I'm saying. So if they stuff 2 buns, can they only do 1 bun at a time? But if you take 2 buns and you crinkle them up, stuff them, and just
That's a lot of bread, though.
100%. But you have to. I think it has to be a 1-to-1. So he ate 63 full hot dogs,
Yeah,
bun and
bun
bread.
and hot. Yeah. But then there's certain rules, like you can't dunk the bun for more than 5 seconds.
That's wasting time, anyways.
Yeah.
In and out. In and out.
But there you go. They
Jesus.
they take 2 dogs, chomp on them, and then chomp on them again.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right. Well,
Lord.
that's enough hot dog eating talk. Let's get to the Minnesota Minute.
Yeah. So Minnesota Minute, quick. Twins went 2-1 against the Orioles. They now play the White Sox on a 2-game series, and then the Rangers. The Wind Chill are now in first place, 7-1.
Let's go.
They beat Detroit last weekend, and now they play Madison coming up here. Timberwolves, obviously a lot of people know, made some big moves with Rudy Gobert this offseason. We'll talk about that soon. And the Lynx split the series with the Las Vegas Aces and now play Chicago Wednesday, and then get a few days off and play Phoenix next week. So, yeah, I still think they're
Better
kind of in
week.
last place. Yeah, it was a better week. But they're just not very good. They're just not very good.
No, better week overall for all the
Minnesota teams, yeah. Exciting weeks.
Yeah.
For sure, so
We'll take it.
can't complain.
All right. Well, let's transition right into the betting because it was also a pretty solid week for both of us. So,
Another average.
starting with Dave, yeah, I guess a little bit more average, but better than 500. So
Yeah.
we'll take that. 11-10 overall, and he was 5-6 for MLB, 3-1 WNBA, and 3-3 soccer.
Yeah, I will say I think I had 2 soccer bets that lost in the last 5 minutes of the game. Big fire action time. Yep, they tied it up, and that was a loss.
You gotta find teams that score more
Find
goals.
teams that just know how to protect it. I mean, call everyone the...
Protecting the lead seems to be hard for soccer.
Well, yeah, because they go into a little tunnel, and it's like they stop playing.
Yeah.
And then they just boot the ball, and then it's like, no, just continue playing your game, but you can be... Like, you can tighten it in without just being like,
yeah.
kick it deep.
Well, I had Austin in one of the games, and they were down.
Good.
They were down 2-0 after the 22nd minute,
Yeah.
and then they scored 3 goals and won 3-2.
Yeah.
So
But
we'll take
you
it.
can't complain. I mean,
And then myself, I went 13-8 overall, so better week. MLB 10-6, WNBA 1-2, soccer 2-0.
there you go. Also, speaking of soccer, I forgot in the Minnesota Minute, the Loons won 3-2 against Real Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And they play this weekend against Vancouver. So they're kind of, I mean, they've won the last 2.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
About
They just,
time.
they just have to hold the leads. They seem like they score early and often, but they just can't hold that lead. So,
Yeah, they've been struggling in that regard.
yeah.
Well, they're doing better, and hopefully these beers are
A little
better
better
as
yeah.
well.
Check it out. Check it out.
What do you got today?
Well, should we say what we're going to do a little different on the rating scale? Or should we just do it?
We'll just do it.
Okay. So, Bud Light, Seltzer, Lemon Lime. It's a classic. But we're going to the Lemon Limes now. And it's a cool can. It's kind of reflective. It's kind of trippy.
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, Bud Light seems like it's just a solid beer. Seltzer. I mean, the beer's great.
This is seltzer this time, so it might be different. All right, so then the beer that we're trying, coming straight from a recommendation from our friend Brennan, who's a loyal YouTube listener and watcher
And commenter.
Surly Brewing Coffee Bender, which is a brown ale with coffee added. So you get a little afternoon pick-me-up here, and we'll let you know how it is. So, like Brennan, you can also comment on any of our social medias. Send us a message on which beer you want us to try, beer or seltzer, and we'll get it on the list.
Did we try a coffee one already? Was that was just a milk stout, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Coffee beers usually are decent. I mean, they are a little Saturday game day, go for game day. Usually start with a coffee beer. And then
Do you?
go from there. Absolutely.
I don't usually do that, but
Shout out Kelly and Andrew. They always have coffee beers.
all right. So seltzer first. That's how we're doing.
It looks like a
seltzer
root
first.
beer float. No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not going anywhere.
Oh, it's going.
Oof. Yeah, it smells a little. I should put it in the fridge.
So it is warmer than usual,
Yeah. But
But
I actually
that's-
don't think it's that bad.
but that's user error.
Yeah, I actually think low key. I actually like it. It's pretty good.
Why do you like it?
It's got good flavor. And like to be honest, when you start drinking it, the carbonation, there's some carbonation there, but it's really not enough. Just goes right away. You want to give yours first? Because I know it's going to be lower because you did that. Oh, you write yours down?
Yep, I wrote it down.
Alright. It's not going to change mine at all.
No, go ahead.
Mine's a 6.6. I think it's pretty good. It would obviously be better user error on my fault, that it would be better cold. But I think Bud Light's got some solid seltzers.
I would say my review is it tastes like bubble water. I don't think there's a lot of flavor. I think it's pretty bleh.
Interesting. I think this
And-
has more flavor than like the Trulies.
Well,
Like, for sure.
I mean, yeah, but you're also comparing it to Truly's, which is one of the worst ones in my opinion. So I would
Just
say
as much as press.
no.
100%.
I
If it's cold.
don't agree with that.
Wow.
I'm giving it a 5-1. I think it's mediocre.
That's not mediocre. That's one of the worst. That's not mediocre.
Mediocre.
That's low.
That's mediocre.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Not my favorite.
Probably better if it was cold.
I think lemon lime is one of my favorite flavors, usually, just in terms of like things to eat or drink.
Yeah.
But not doing it for me.
Ooh.
But that's okay. All right, let's go to the beer here. So, if you're watching the video, you can check out the can. It's brown with coffee bean illustrations on it. Yep, Surly, local Minnesota brewery. The same brewery, if you listen to episode
With Such. The
yep.
Axeman.
He brought, what is it, Todd?
The Axeman, yeah.
The Axeman, yep, the IPA, that was also Surly, so we're on our second Surly beer, but
It's a local. You better like coffee if you like it.
you better like black coffee.
Yeah. And I will say this. I usually have a black coffee a day in the morning.
Just one.
But I don't think, I mean, it's not bad actually. It's really not bad, but it's thick to drink.
Yeah, well, you're not going to be drinking more than one. So that could potentially affect the scoring. I would say if you, yeah, if you don't like darker roast or black coffee, then this one probably isn't for you. However, if you do enjoy that, or if you like darker roast, if you like medium roast, if you like black coffee, then this one's actually probably right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Which I like black coffee, and I've started to transition from lighter roast to medium roast. Now I'm medium to dark roast, so this is right down my alley. Would I have more than one at a brewery? Probably not, because it's pretty heavy and it is
Doesn't go down as easy as most.
Yeah, but that I feel like that happens as you trend darker.
I mean, to an extent, the milk stout went down so smooth.
Yeah, but that was nitro.
That's dark.
Yeah,
We're
but
talking-
no. A nitro means that it's compressed in the can, so it makes it smoother.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I think this one. I mean,
That's what the nitro.
It's hard
That's
to-
what the nitro.
it's hard because the other dark one we had was the peanut butter one, which has been my favorite by far.
Yeah.
So it's hard to compare this to.
Yeah, that was the other dark one. The CPB.
Yeah, like I said, it truly tastes like a cup of coffee with a little bit of an aftertaste. One of them at a brewery.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if I would get this at a brewery. I like coffee, but I don't think I would get it. 5.7.
You need to pick me up.
No. That's why I drink.
I
Get the buzz.
give it a 6.4.
Yeah. I'm drinking. That's my
Just
pick.
under the level of getting more than one at a brewery.
I mean, it's straight coffee.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. I wonder if it. I guess I didn't check to
Does it
see.
have caffeine in it?
That's what I was gonna check. I mean, it would have to
If it's got coffee
coffee's
beans.
added.
Yeah.
5.5%. I would assume it doesn't say if there's caffeine or not in it, but it says coffee added. So I would assume.
There has to be.
Yeah. But yeah, another local brewery. If you haven't been there, it's a pretty good spot.
During the
It's
summer,
big,
yeah.
so
It's got a nice outside.
definitely recommend that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's bad. It's like I said, it is one of those. Maybe have one.
Yeah,
If you have more than one.
definitely.
I might have more than one.
Well, cool. I think that was better. You liked the seltzer. I liked the beer.
Yeah.
A good combination.
There we go.
Alrighty, so some of you may know that the NBA free agency kicked off last Thursday. And so there's a bunch of signings, a bunch of trades. And so we're going to recap it just in case you didn't get caught up with everything that happened.
I mean, money is just being thrown.
A lot of money. Yep, a lot of money in the NBA. And so to start here, we're going to run through the extensions that some of the main players got. This isn't all of them. However, these are some of the more noteworthy extensions that some
These are like all-stars.
brand players got.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. So you got Jokic, who signed the most lucrative contract in NBA history, 5 years, $270 million. So what's that? $54 million a year.
Yeah.
Yep, $54 million a year. Then you got Bradley Beal signing a 5-year, $251 million
With the Wizards.
Yeah. So all of these guys returned to their previous teams.
So are those the max?
Yes.
Those are max.
The Supermaxes. Yeah. And so the way it works is if you make an All-NBA team, then you're eligible to sign a Supermax contract with the team that you're on. So it's either you can get to 5 years with your current team, or you can sign 4 years somewhere else. So
4 years is the max if you sign somewhere else.
I believe so, yes.
So if Bradley Beal signed the 5-year, but is it dependent on how you've done? Like if you're first team NBA MVP, do you have more money to use? Because actually their super
you have to
maxes
be
are different.
all NBA. So on the first, second, or third team.
Got it.
Yeah. So speaking of that, the next person, Kat, who's on the Wolves, he was eligible for the Supermax because he made the third team All NBA.
Right.
So Kat and Devin Booker both signed a 4-year, $224 million deal.
So those were extensions, right?
Yep. So they're under contract for 6 years, I believe.
Gotcha.
Because it's 2 years plus the additional 4. And then you have Zach LaVine, 5-year, $215 million. Ja Morant, 5 years, $193 million. And then Zion and Darius Garland signed as well.
Back to after their rookie. That was the after. Was that the
rookie
max?
Extensions?
Yeah, rookie extensions.
Yeah.
I mean that is. So the super max is about 50 million plus.
Yeah, about that.
Holy moly.
Yep. Between 50. Well, I think Levine's is considered a supermax as well, and that's.
Is it 4 years?
No, it's 5 years, 215, so that would be 43.
Yeah,
I believe.
So it all depends.
So anywhere, honestly, 40 plus, I believe it should be around what the supermax is. So those are all the most notable guys that are returning back to their teams that signed extensions. So a lot of money, as we mentioned.
I mean, it's just crazy. Like, where's the bar now? So if there's a guy,
it just keeps going up.
That's what I'm saying. So like in 3 years, 4 years, is somebody going to sign a supermax at $60 million a year?
Probably.
I mean, that's insane.
I mean, that's what happens. That's why Jokic signed the most lucrative contract deal in the history of the NBA. It's not because he's the best player ever. It's just because as the years go by, then the salary cap changes and teams can and have to offer their best players more, and that's why.
That's insane.
So,
That's
I mean,
a lot of money.
that's how it works. So all those teams all those guys returned back. Out of all those, who do you think has the best stats or does the best in their new contract?
Well, I mean, Jokic is a back-to-back MVP winner, so he's obviously, he's the guy. But I think when you look at it like that, I think that Cat deal is a great deal to keep him here. He's kind of the face. Him and Ant are kind of the faces.
Mm-hmm.
But I think low-key Devin Booker is one of the best shooters in the league, so I like that contract. Truthfully, when you look at all of those guys, like Darius Garland being young, the Cavaliers are gonna build around him. Ja Morant obviously is a very explosive, great player. it's crazy. It blows my mind. I know Zion is unbelievable, and he's fantastic. The guy didn't even play last year.
Yeah, he
Barely played. And there's always these rumors like, oh, he's overweight, but it's like, dude, the dude's a huge guy, so when he plays, he's dynamic. Mm-hmm. But if he can't play, I mean, what are we doing? But I mean, when he does play, like I said, he is a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
That man is a wrecking ball. I mean, here's the thing. If I'm the team, I get it, a little bit overweight or not. I mean, let him be a little bit overweight if he's going to do what he does.
You have to. I mean, they had to pay him because somebody was going
100%. But that's what I'm saying with the It's like those teams, like the Pelicans and stuff, like it's great you build around them. It's just you got to get more pieces.
Yeah, they do have a lot of pieces, though.
Young pieces.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They do. So they should be decent.
Yeah.
Okay, so now going to the next category, which is guys that are changing teams. Like before, maybe not all of them that happened. However, the most notable ones we're gonna list. Mm-hmm. So those are, probably the top 3 that happened were Brogdon to the Celtics, Gobert to the Wolves, and Jalen Brunson to the Knicks. Would you agree? Those are the top 3?
Yeah. Well, Gobert's was a trade, right?
Yeah.
The other 2 were just signed.
No, Brogdon and Gobert were trades, and then Brunson signed with the Knicks. But would you agree that those were the most notable?
Out of all the ones that were, 100% in that category for sure. I mean, the Rudy Gobert trade, I mean, you've heard both sides of it.
Yeah.
Where it's like you're giving up a lot, but it's also like, hey, let's win now. Mm-hmm. And I get it, you lost a lot of these other pieces, but you also have these young guys like Jaden McDaniels. You have other guys that can step up. Ant can step up. Obviously, Ant's been one of the faces too in Towns. Mm-hmm. And now I think it's one of those things you put 2 7-footers on the court at the same time. It kind of allows Cat to be like...
Almost 3, technically, because Jaden McDaniels is 6'11".
Yeah, so it's like you kind of allow Cat, who's very soft, to kind of take a step back, and you have a defensive presence in Rudy Gobert. Is it a lot to give up?
Step
Sure.
out, not step back.
Yeah. No, I'm saying like step back defensively, not necessarily have to play the big man and body him up. Just he can play his game more, where it's like, hey, he's not going to be a guy that's going to pound down low with guys. That's what Rudy Gobert's there for. I mean, he'll grab a rebound.
Yeah, he's a rebounder and shot blocker. He's not. I mean, is anybody really a pound down low guy?
Steven Adams, shout out.
Yeah, but he is not that good.
I think Rudy Gobert kind of. I mean, Rudy Gobert.
No. Pick and roll all day.
He lives in the paint.
He's not a pounded down low guy.
He lives in the paint. He can't shoot a ball. He literally can't dribble either. He lives in the paint.
He's not a pounded down low guy. He's a go set screens, roll to the basket, and dunk the alley-oops. He's not going to catch it down on the block and do all these post moves to score.
No, I guess. I'm not saying pound it down low. There's nobody in the NBA that loves to pound it down low, I should say. What I'm saying is he lives in the paint, so Towns can back up, yes, and not have to guard the big guy down low.
So are we talking offense or defense?
We're not talking offense. Cat's fine offensively. He doesn't like to go down low, Cat. He likes to stay outside and shoot the 3.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So when you're on the defensive end, Cat doesn't like to be by the hoop. He doesn't want a guy that's going to get... You watched it in the Memphis series. People took it right at him, and he just kind of backed away. I mean, for sure, the JJJ just bodied him.
I don't know if he doesn't like being down there.
Cat is soft.
Well,
every Minnesota fan can say Cat's soft.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't like being down in the post.
I would say the majority of times when you watch Cat, and I guess we'll see it this season, Cat would rather not be that guy that has to grab every rebound. He'll grab rebounds here and there. Yes, he's 7 feet tall, but with Rudy Gobert down low, playing that down presence, it'll be better for Cat.
Oh, yeah. I'm not disagreeing about that. I just don't think that he doesn't like being down low. Like, I think that he probably prefers that than trying to guard a bunch of wing players and stick with them on the perimeter.
Yeah, but if you're guarding it, yeah.
Which he'll have to do more so now as well.
Yeah, but I think he'll be fine. He's 7 feet. He's lanky.
I mean, yeah, but so is Gobert.
Well, yeah.
He's 7 feet.
That's what I'm saying. Gobert takes the big guy that allows Cat to get that 4.
Well, yeah.
I would rather have Cat guard a 4 than a 5.
Like Zion.
Yeah. But you could say Zion's a pound it down. I mean, Zion is a big guy.
He's their 4, though.
Yeah, but he's going to try to pound it down low. But I would rather have Cat guard him than their big guy.
I would say Zion's more catch it at 15 feet, try and drive around you and hammer it on your...
Well, yeah, Zion is literally trying to dunk every single ball he gets. Right.
For good reason.
Yeah, but Zion, I think it'll be interesting to see. I think Towns also playing against 4s will benefit him too.
Yeah. It'll just be interesting to see how it translates on the offensive end. Yes, he's going to be guarding the 4s on the defensive end. And there will be a premier shot blocker and paint presence in Gobert on the defensive end. And so even if he gets driven by, it's not the worst thing because there's a guy down there.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see how his offensive game develops when he's not the primary screener, roller down into the post type of player.
Yeah, well, because
he's being guarded by 4s, which are usually a little bit more nimble than 5s.
Yeah. Well, it'll just be interesting to see how they use him because last year it was Towns would set a pick and he could also step out. Rudy can't step out, so every time they pick, it's going to be a roll.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, I don't know. After this year, here's the thing. Do you think the Rudy Gobert trade makes the Timberwolves championship team?
Championship? It's going to be tough.
That's what we're going for.
I know, but so is everybody else.
I know. So you have to imagine after this year, D'Lo's probably out.
Probably.
So do you like the trade or do you not like the trade?
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, we can do a little thing. Who do you think are the top 4 teams in the Western Conference right now?
Oh, I couldn't even tell you. Well, the top 4 teams, I'll just go top 4 teams in the NBA.
Well, let's do Western Conference.
I don't even know who's in the... Let me pull this up.
Do you want me to go first?
If you can go first if you want.
Okay. I think the Warriors are number 1 because they just won the championship. They pretty much have all of their pieces back, minus a few role players, but they also have made a couple signings. Dante DiVincenzo for less than $10 million for 2 years. It is insane to me. And then I would go Clippers next. This is how I think it's going to finish. Clippers next because they have Paul George and Kawhi. They just signed John Wall. They have Reggie Jackson. They basically signed. It seems like they basically signed most of the guys that they had or wanted to from the last couple of years, and in theory they should be healthy this year. So I'd put them at number 2. Number 3, I would say it'll be interesting to see how the Suns are without Ayton, because there was kind of a 3-headed duo plus a bunch of really good role players on their team, and losing their best big guy will probably hurt them more than they might know right now. And so I would put them somewhere in the 3 to 6 range. I would also put Dallas in the top 4 with Luka, and now they got Christian Wood. And they will get Tim Hardaway back. So I would put them in the top 4, and then
T-Wolves 5.
Us. Well, I think it
could be anywhere from 3 to 6 for sure.
Yeah, I would put us in the 3 to 6 category. I mentioned last week on the Instagram stories that I think that the Wolves are going to be the 4 seed in the West. So a good regular season, don't get me wrong, I think we'll win a bunch of games in the regular season. Do I think that it's going to amount to a championship? Probably not. Right. Do I think we have the possibility of getting to the Western Conference Finals? I do. I think we should be locked into getting to at least the second round which would be top 4 in the Western Conference. And then at that point, all we have to do is win one more series and we're in the Western Conference Finals. So that's where I think that we're kind of in, based off of where the other teams are and what the Wolves roster is looking like. Is it the best roster that we've had in a really long time, if ever? Yeah, probably. But the problem is all those other teams are super
worse.
Solid.
Yeah, they got
as
better.
well. Yeah.
I mean, the Warriors have to be number 1.
Yeah. Okay. So Warriors are number 1 for you as well.
I think Warriors number 1. I actually think Nuggets will be either 2 or 3 with Jamal Murray coming back. Obviously, this is if people stay healthy. Obviously, you can't predict that. So I think the Nuggets make that leap. I do like the Clippers. Like I said, with everyone staying healthy, I think the Timberwolves could kind of go back and forth between 3 and 4. I think the Timberwolves could win more games in the regular season than the Clippers. I just do.
It's possible.
So I think the Timberwolves could be in that 3 or 4. I do like the Mavericks. Like I said, I think the Mavericks are a solid team. Luka's very good. Like I said, you just hope that they make that jump. We're hoping that these young guys make that jump and continue to make that jump because, like you said, D'Lo's gone after this year, and you kind of gave up 3 first-round picks. Not saying that really. I mean, 4 first-round. Well, 3 unprotected, right? And then the 4th was protected.
The 4th was top 5.
Which should happen. Hopefully, God forbid, if that happens, we're back to
Well, that's in 2029.
Yeah, so that's when Cat has white hair. When you look at those teams, I think, like you said, the top tier teams, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Ayton and where he goes. Because he was obviously a big point of the Suns. And JaVale McGee was a big guy on the Suns.
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So he's gone too. So it's like Chris Paul, Devin Booker. They obviously have Mikal Bridges and other guys that can shoot.
Yeah.
Jay Crowder, but DeAndre Ayton was a very good player. So I don't know. I think the Warriors kind of still run away with that. I don't know. If we matched up with the Grizzlies again next year, would it go 5, 6, 7 games? Sure, but we should be better than we were last year. So we should win that series.
Yeah, but they should also be better.
I just don't think that. Yeah, I think they're good. I just don't think they're that good. I think we matched up with them good this year. We had, 2 games we were winning and we just blew it. So that's my teams, though. I think you look at the rest of the conference, trash. Lakers, trash. I do think the Clippers will make a huge jump. Low key, I really do.
Oh yeah, they have to.
John Wall's back.
Well, as the last part of this little trio of groupings is the third group, which as of the recording, the guys that are most likely going to either sign new deals or change teams.
Okay.
So this list is smaller, however, as alluded to, DeAndre Ayton probably not going back to the Suns, so it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. There were talks that he was going to go to the Pistons, but I don't think that's going to happen anymore based off of their draft. James Harden declined his player option, so he's said that it's to give more financial flexibility to the team so that they can create a better roster to hopefully make a run this next coming year.
Yeah.
So
I can see that. What was it? 47 million.
47 and change. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see what his contract ends up looking like, but the expectation is that he returns back to the Sixers. And then you have the Nets with Kyrie and KD, and who knows where they end up.
I mean, there's been talks for so long where it's like, oh, they're both going to be gone. No, they're both back. Kyrie says he's coming back. KD's now gone. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
This is it's almost like it's like a game where it's like you look at an AAU team and the guy goes, oh, you're coming back? Well, I'm not. I'm gone now. I'm not the guy, so I'm gone. So you're going to trade teams. And it's like they're just kind of in limbo. And like you said, when we're recording this, nothing's happened. So
yeah.
If anything happens in the next 2 days, whatever. But when you look at those two, I mean, here's the thing is Ben Simmons will be back. He'll play.
Maybe.
Who knows? I mean, according to Twitter, he's been putting in work. Can't shoot still. But Kyrie, I think Kyrie is so good. And then KD's obviously one of those guys, but I don't know. If you bring them, all 3 of them back and can somehow get them on the same page, they could be a force to be reckoned with.
I mean, that's what they were saying 2 years ago with Harden and KD and Kyrie, and then look where that got them. Nowhere.
I think Harden's tough to play with.
I mean,
he's just tough to play with. Ben Simmons can't shoot, so he's just going to keep passing the ball.
It's true. Play defense.
Do you think they're going to be back? You think, cool, because Kyrie's back. Or is he not back now? It changes on a day. It's like he's like almost in a relationship with the Nets where he's not happy, so it's just constantly changing.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is now that Durant has requested a trade, the Nets want so much back for him, which
arguably
makes sense because he's, I mean, easily, I would say, definitely top 10 player
he's pushing
in
for
history.
top 5.
Top 10 in the history.
Oh, history. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he's for sure top 5 in the NBA right now.
Oh, yeah, easily. And so when you have that, obviously you're going to want a lot back in return. Yeah. And so it'll just depend on who is willing to give that up to get him. And so I think it's probably, at least what it looks like now, it's looking like there's an easier route to like a Russell Westbrook for Kyrie trade. And putting Kyrie over in LA and Russ over in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Man, if he goes to, if KD is gone and Russ goes to Brooklyn,
and then
Brooklyn is gonna have, I mean, I don't want to say it, but like those two can't shoot.
I knew you were going there, and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Because it's like, dude, I mean, he's gotten the nickname Westbrick. I'm not gonna call him that, but so he can't shoot.
And then you put Ben Simmons.
Then you put Ben Simmons who can't shoot. I mean, it's crazy, and it's just like with Westbrook, it's like he's so dynamic and he's such a good athlete. Mm-hmm. But it's like sometimes you watch him shoot and it hits the side of the backboard, and you're like, dude, you're shooting like 13% from 3-pointer. Stop shooting 3-pointers. Like, just stop. Drive to the hoop. Do something different. Yeah. I mean, he's so dynamic that he just is. He's so great to watch, and I mean, would it be cool to see? I mean, there's also talks with KD going to the Warriors.
That's true.
I mean, they have a good package. I mean, unfortunately, it would send my guy Jordan Poole away. But, like, if KD came back, I mean, Draymond's already solidified. They got the four-headed monster right there. I mean, those guys can play.
Yep.
You don't even, I mean, what are you going to sign? Looney, just play center and don't even, hey, Looney, don't shoot the ball.
Hey, they already re-signed him.
That's what I'm saying. So
3-year deal, baby.
If I'm Looney, I'm saying, hey, I'm not shooting. I'm just going to keep passing to these guys, and I'm going to get 12 assists.
He never shoots. He just gets 10 rebounds a game.
I mean, he might get a dunk here and there and get the crowd fired up.
He usually averages about 5 points.
Yeah.
Three dump offs.
What's the other guy? Kaminga?
Kaminga, he'd be gone.
I mean, he would be in the trade for sure.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know. I mean, KD's great. It's just crazy where it's like, oh, Kyrie is now going to LA. It's like, dude, I get it. Like, LA, LeBron, all those guys. But, like, dude, why would you trade for Westbrook? Why would you trade for that man? I wouldn't. Sorry. Yeah. Just wouldn't.
But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see where those guys end up. And we'll keep you updated, and we'll go from there. But
yeah, shout out if you're not following the Instagram already. The Instagram will give you updates on how we feel. You saw Chris do it on the story, so give that a follow. Sippin' Sports. I mean, that'll be our way of getting this out.
Noteworthy games, videos, reactions to notable things that happen.
Yep.
But yeah,
real time.
Yep, real time videos.
Yeah.
If you want to see our faces and hear our voices at the same time.
You just missed us.
Yep. All right, well, with that being said, let's transition over to probably the most fun part for you guys.
Yeah, I think this is what gets the people going.
Definitely. The topic today is...
Do you want to recap last week? I think you won last week.
Oh, yeah. Do you have the...
But I didn't have the numbers, but it was bad.
Look at the numbers.
I didn't see the numbers.
Oh,
it was just a percentage. I don't have the numbers.
I think I sent it to you. But it was significantly more.
It was almost 2-1.
Yeah.
But I want to solidify this. I had a few people question. When we started talking about drinks, it was not just that one specific kind. You have to watch the podcast to get what we were talking about. Like when Naram said blue, or I think it was Glacier Freeze Gatorade. That was all Gatorade. That's why I couldn't pick any Gatorade.
That's correct.
So when I said Body Armor, and I threw out a flavor, that was all Body Armor. I'm not saying I would have gotten 15 or 30 more votes, what I needed to even compete, but I'm just saying that right there was a question that people had, but just watch the podcast. Just watch it.
Yeah. Or listen.
Yeah, or listen. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yep, that's what we're all here for.
Yeah.
Well, you realize that you're talking to the people that are already listening to the podcast.
100%. But I'm just saying you need it. Well, that's what. Well, no, I'm saying don't just go on Twitter and look at the polls or Instagram. You got to watch it first.
Oh, I 100% agree.
So, but this time we're doing top 5 shows of all time.
And just to preface, so it's 2-2. We've done 4 drafts total. It's 2-2. So we're back tied up.
Yep. Both my losses have been significant. But,
significant.
Well, I mean, the last win.
And honestly, I feel like your wins have also been significant.
Yeah, they really haven't been that close.
Yeah.
I mean, neither games have been close.
No.
Like, neither matches. So.
Yeah.
What do you want?
All right. Wait, did you say what we're doing?
Well, I said top 5 shows.
Top 5 TV shows
of all time.
Of all time. Yeah.
Draft, as always.
Yeah. Same rules, snake draft, whatever. I'll go with tails.
Heads. I will go second again.
Okay.
Nair's spitballing this. So he said he was. What did you say before you were?
This
is up in Nairn's alley.
This is up my alley.
So he doesn't need to write anything down. Nothing.
Well, I'm gonna write down my roster. Yep. I'm gonna go with Game of Thrones first.
Have you seen it?
Yep.
No, you haven't. You're such a liar. So for my first pick, I'm gonna go, since he stole mine straight up, I'm gonna go with
that gonna be your
Grey's. Well, I've seen it, but I'm gonna go with Grey's Anatomy and Friday Night Lights as my top 2. Very solid top 2. You get both ends of the spectrum. Hopefully pulling some of those female votes to me, since no female has ever voted for me. Except Alyssa, shout out. Alright.
Yeah, she does somehow vote for you every time.
I will say this, and low-key, she literally votes, and then she texts me which one she's voting.
Oh.
So, I'm just saying, I don't sway nobody.
And somehow she's voted for you every time.
See, we know each other. That's why.
Alright. I'm gonna go with One Tree Hill.
Ooh.
Yep, solid choice. And I'm also gonna go with we'll go with Breaking Bad.
Ooh. Okay.
Yep.
Alright. So you have Breaking Bad and...
Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, One Tree Hill.
One Tree Hill. Alright, so for my next 2, I'm going to go with Friends. Solid show. I'm going to also then go with Michael Scott, The Office. Ooh.
You probably got some votes there, but I'll tell everybody what I told Dave before this. I haven't seen The Office, and it's not really... It's one of those shows where it's like everybody says how good it is, so that actually works against it for me and makes me not want to watch it.
Oh, I've seen it. I will say I haven't seen it front to back, but I've seen a few episodes here. I mean, I think it's decently funny. But like you said, I mean, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I have seen some of the show.
Right. Yep.
Hashtag Game of Thrones.
All right. So then I'm gonna go with. We'll go with Entourage.
That's a good show.
Great show.
I'm just trying to persuade votes here. Go. What's your next one?
Entourage, and I'm gonna go with. I'm between 2, honestly. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Schitt's Creek.
I have not seen Schitt's Creek.
Very funny. It's what I used to watch when I would be running on the treadmill at LA Fitness, and it was a 30-minute show, so it was nice and short, but it was also just super funny, and so I would just be laughing hysterically on the treadmill while I was running. Yeah, but it was like, okay, it's about 20 minutes, 23 minute episodes, and so I would just watch one episode while I was running, and then be done.
Yeah. My last pick, I'm going The Mandalorian. Not a lot of people have seen it, but if you haven't, it's very good. It's kind of got that Star Wars vibe.
Well, it's part of the Star Wars.
Yes,
Family,
it is.
isn't it?
Yeah, but it's just a TV show.
All right, solid. Honestly, you might win this one just for notoriety with the names. However,
Notoriety, what is that?
well, when you look at the list, it's like, oh, you got Friends, you got The Office, you got Grey's Anatomy. Like, those three are pretty noteworthy.
Yeah.
But I think we both did pretty well.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you took my first one.
I know, exactly. So,
That's why I took yours.
so just to recap, so Dave's picks, top 5 were Grey's Anatomy, Friday Night Lights, Friends, The Office, and The Mandalorian. Is it The Mandalorian or just Mandalorian? The Mandalorian. Chris's, is Game of Thrones, One Tree Hill, Breaking Bad, Entourage, and Schitt's Creek.
There you go.
I
mean,
think
decently solid. I mean, there's a
this
lot
would be
more.
pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more options.
Oh, 100%.
I think when you look at people's
That's what makes
top
this one
shows,
easier.
they should probably be on that list. I don't really know. Most of the time we miss one here and there, but I can't.
You got an
really-
honorable mention? Or no?
Not at all.
Alright.
That's what I was saying.
That's okay.
I mean, to be honest, I just made up the last one.
Yeah.
My whole list got crossed off. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Nice think alike.
Yeah. Well, all right. Episode 17, we're wrapped up. So if you haven't already, we did get another 2, I think, reviews or ratings on Spotify/Apple Podcasts. So we're up to 15 5-star ratings.
Shout out to all you guys.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
That's
So
awesome.
if you haven't done that, it's gonna help out. So 5 stars, since you like us so much and keep coming back for more. But Spotify and Apple Podcasts, rate, subscribe, like. Actually, I don't think you can like, but review. That's what I meant to say. Rate, review, subscribe on Apple and Spotify. Watch our YouTube channel, and then Twitter and Instagram is where you'll get the more frequent updates.
Yeah. You also can like on Instagram. You can
Instagram
like on YouTube.
and YouTube and Twitter are the liking
there you go.
platforms.
Yeah.
So if you haven't, get on it. Poll is coming out on Thursday on the Instagram. Otherwise, we will see you next week.
Peace.